Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to reveal more than simply tea. It's molten lava directly from the depths of treachery. Claressa Shields, the GWAT of women's boxing, may be on the verge of suffering her greatest defeat in her career, and it won't be in the ring.
Oh no.
It's in the public court this time. View, and her ex-lover's spouse, Papoose, serves as the judge, jury, and executioner. You did indeed hear me correctly. The man who everyone vowed to keep quiet, Papoose, has just turned the tables and flung his cards to the ground. Additionally, what's in his hand? If accurate, the unfiltered, unaltered, and time-stamped private messages completely destroy Claressa's carefully constructed public persona. Screenshots that suggest parallel lives, deception that might ruin a job, and a degree of dishonesty that makes reality TV seem like a playdate in kindergarten. Some close to the matter are referring to it as the digital nuke, while others are speculating that these receipts might instantly destroy her reputation. Is this the last round for Claressa Shields' reputation? That is the actual question. Or is this only the opening bell? Let's establish the scene. The self-described GWAT, Claressa Shields, has established her reputation on being untouchable both inside and outside of the ring. However, she is currently embroiled in a scandal that is so tangled that even the strongest public relations staff in the sport would require divine intervention to sort it out. Who is preventing them from moving? Papoose, not her fans, nor her squad. That Papoose, indeed. The same man who, while Remy Ma was incarcerated, became the poster child for loyalty in hip-hop. The individual who stood by his queen throughout years of career setbacks, media criticism, and industry controversy. Not too long ago, the man was the quiet, helpful kind. Apparently, silence is no longer a virtue. Because enough is enough, and the paps are now full. And the weapon of choice, private correspondence. The DMs and messages seem to show Claressa playing both sides of the field, emotionally dragging along not one but two guys while preserving the public image of a woman solely focused on her job. According to insiders who say they have seen these so-called receipts. Oh, and for one of the men was already married, while the other was supposedly only a backup plan, for added spice. Let's go back in time now. Rumors concerning Clara's personal life have previously entangled her name. Indeed, there are ancient rumors from the boxing community that she has always had too intimate a relationship with some of the people in her life. Most people dismissed it at the time as hearsay from board insiders or jealously from rivals. However, now that Pap has come forward, it seems as though every previous rumor has been upgraded to VIP status. This is where things start to become interesting. Pap isn't merely making nebulous charges. No, he is said to possess timestamp evidence. Screenshots of private conversations, provocative voice notes, and possibly even a few films that, according to sources, would leave the average viewer speechless are all on the table. Furthermore, these texts aren't merely, "Hey, how are you?" Those who have seen a preview describe the tone as flirtatious, calculated, and rife with deceit. An unidentified source described one leaked screenshot. Purportedly depicts Claressa dismissing the notion of ever committing to a single man. Men are like sparring partners, the purported text said. To ensure you're never caught off guard, you keep many. Regardless of whether she said this or not, it is already detrimental that Pap's team is willing to let it to spread. Sufficient. Not to mention the chronology. Following his difficult time with Remy Ma, when rumors circulated that there was an irreversible schism between the two, Pap and Claressa were accused of getting involved. Insiders claimed that rift was fueled by external factors, which today appears to be the kind way of implying that someone else was involved. At this point, however, the scandal begins to appear more like a planned takedown than a personal problem. Pap didn't simply decide to air Claressa out one morning. No, it seems organized and purposeful, as if he has been gathering material for months, waiting for the right time to drop it to do the most harm. Insiders in the industry are already making assumptions about why. Is this just retaliation? Is Pap making an effort? To recover his image as a faithful king following the humiliation of Remy's loss? Or is it more profound? Perhaps a personal grudge, a business rivalry, or even pressure from influential persons in the background who wish to see Clarissa's fame diminished. Regardless of the motivation, the public's response has been explosive. Team Claressa accuses him of clout chasing and bitter ex-energy, while Team Pap praises him for exposing a manipulator. Instagram is flooded with memes. Dramatic voiceovers are becoming more common in TikTok editing. And every blurred screenshot is already the subject of hour-long analyses by YouTube comments channels, complete with red circles and arrows. And Remy Ma comes next. Remy never does this by accident, and the queen herself has been utterly mute. Her quiet is deafening. It's calculating. She's watching the entire drama play out with the satisfaction of someone who knows the conclusion before anybody else, if the rumors are accurate. Make no mistake, Claressa is experiencing more than a little personal embarrassment if Pap's proof is genuine. Her career may suffer as a result. Scandals are disliked by sponsors. Negative press is disliked by networks. Additionally, a poorly timed headline can quickly kill momentum in a sport where image buys seats just as well as competence. One question, though, is still consuming everyone's thoughts. Why now? What caused Pap to decide to reveal the purported bombshells at this precise moment? Some claim that he chose to strike first since Clarissa's squad was going to reveal something to him. Others say Pap was driven over the edge by something new he learned. Something so intimate, so embarrassing that there was no longer any way to remain silent. And we may not have yet witnessed the worst of it if that is the case. Because part 1 of Pap's exposure is only the appetizer, according to the same insider who has been providing these data. The primary dish, let's just say that it's not simply messaging. We're discussing voice messages, phone conversations, and possibly even some behind-the-scenes videos that would make Claressa Shields regret ever entering the ring with his private affairs. This leads to the suspenseful conclusion. Because if my understanding is correct, the genuine story begins in part 2 of the epic. Explosions occur. And by explosions, I mean the kind that have the power to instantly transform a boxing legend into a warning. This is the point at when the gloves truly come off. Papropped were those so-called appetizer leaks. As it happens, the next wave is the major event, so they were only a warm-up. And believe me when I say that the hits are more powerful than a championship knockout. Insiders claim that Pap curated Clarissa's texts rather than merely leaking them. Allegedly, every voice message, screenshot, and scandalous pixel was picked for maximum harm. And only when someone has been hoarding receipts like priceless relics, waiting for the right time to release them, do you witness that type of deliberate energy. Pap's smoking gun, a reported audio tape purportedly including Claressa, is one of the most talked about leaks. Boasting that she has options because loyalty is for those who have little power. The type of PR disaster that takes years to recover from, if you ever recover at all, is that one line alone, if that is indeed her voice. The calendar incident comes next. A screenshot of Claressa's private schedule that allegedly showed overlapping personal time bookings with 2 separate men, including Pap himself, was shared by Pap. Now, the internet doesn't care if this is real or not. In 2025, screenshots don't need to be validated. All they have to do is be convincing enough for readers to follow the story. The response on social media was really harsh. The calendar double booking has already become a popular meme type thanks to TikTok. Posts like "she's a champion in" and "out of the game" are common on Twitter. Ring, balancing men and matches. Instagram story timelines, on the other hand, are essentially split-screen conflicts. As Claressa Timer Shields, half of them mock her while the other half protect her. As unmarried until marriage. The narrative gets more complicated here, though. One very talkative anonymous source claims that Pap wasn't even the first to learn about all of this. Not at all. He was apparently tipped off by a third party. Allegedly, a member of Claressa's Inner circle who harbored resentment snuck by the preliminary proof few months ago. This is more than merely retaliation, if that is the case. It's a planned takedown, perhaps motivated by adversaries Claressa was unaware she had. You are aware that the conspiracy is very popular on the internet. Now there are rumors relating Claressa's purported drama to previous boxing feuds. Fans are interrogating former trainers, rival promoters, and even old pals who abruptly stopped talking years ago if they had anything to do with returning the receipts. The most insane, according to one opinion, Remy's mother may have been aware of Claressa's double life from the beginning and had just waited for Pap to bring it up. Because, let's face it, Ray's quiet throughout this whole situation speaks louder than any diss song she could ever release. She hasn't shared any posts about it. She hasn't dropped a message. She hasn't been disparaging. Despite this, everyone thinks she's enjoying the pandemonium while sipping tea on the balcony. Since this is no longer only about bruised sentiments, let's now discuss professional fallout. There are rumors circulating that at least two of following the public release of the leaks, Claressa's sponsors are re-evaluating their collaborations. Keep in mind that perception is crucial in the business world. Additionally, it's not exactly the brand alignment that businesses are looking for when your name is trending with terms like scandal, cheating, and exposed. According to reports, a sportswear company halted their next Claressa-themed advertising campaign. Not cancelled, but put on hold until further information is available. And stopped is simply corporate code for we're secretly searching for someone else, assuming you've been in the field long enough to understand that. In the meanwhile, boxing analysts are divided. Some claim that Pap's leaks have no bearing on her legacy in the ring and that personal problems shouldn't overshadow athletic success. Others contend that controversies like this can destroy a brand built on being a role model, particularly for female athletes who already engage in combat. Twice as many PR conflicts. And the fans are consuming it. Oh, the fans. Claressa dodged more questions than punches this week, according to one widely shared tweet. In another TikTok video that has received over 2 million views, a person wearing boxing gloves is seen practically avoiding word bubbles as the Claressa Shields are avoiding Pap's receipts, according to the caption. The narrative isn't going to let down anytime soon, but here's the real kicker. There are rumors that Pap hasn't even revealed all the proof yet. Insiders claim that there is a third installment to his strategy. Her legacy might come to an end with one last set of receipts. It's just insane to speculate about what that might be. Some people claim it's a video. Some believe it's a series of vocal notes that link her to a larger entity, such as ruining the careers of other fighters, influencing the results of matches, or using connections to get contracts. People are even more eager to find out because Pap's team is keeping it a secret for the time being. And this controversy is being sustained precisely because of that desperation. The tension increases each day that Pap doesn't reveal the last secret. While Claressa's detractors challenge her to deny it, her supporters are pleading with her to confront it head-on. Because in the court of public opinion today, silence is equivalent to guilt. Regarding Pap, he has been observed taking pictures, laughing, smiling, and shaking his hands while displaying an uncommon amount of confidence. The vitality of a man who is aware that he has all the cards. You cannot deny that he is currently in charge of the narrative, regardless of your feelings for him. Thus, we are at the very beginning of the following chapter. Because if what I'm hearing is accurate, Pap's last round could harm Claressa's reputation in addition to bringing other well-known people into the fray alongside her. When that occurs, this will no longer be a nasty breakup scandal. It will be a seismic event for the entire industry. The whispers suddenly become roars, just when you thought the whole Pap versus Claressa story couldn't get much messier. That enigmatic last piece of proof. Yes, it looks like it's more than just a collection of screenshots or texts. This one is a career killer, according to an individual who says he was present in the room when Pap showed it to a few people. Hey, we're talking about video proof. The footage isn't grainy, but it's also difficult to see faces. High crisp, crystal clear audio, the kind of clarity that causes the public relations crew to start drinking at 9 in the morning. Here is the purported plot now. According to reports, the tape purports to capture Claressa engaging in talks with a rival promoter. And by negotiations, I mean those that take place behind closed doors and may be unlawful. Imagine side deals that would make even the most dubious reality TV contracts appear legitimate, murmurs about influencing judges, and assurances of predetermined fight results. That's more than just personal drama if this is accurate. That's the kind of scandal that gets athletic commissions involved, starts investigations, and can revoke titles faster than you can say WBC and Pap. According to reports, he has been waiting for the ideal opportunity to play chess while everyone else plays checkers for months. Peaked in order for the drop to strike like a meteor. The man is essentially doing a full-fledged villain move from Infinity War, timed it to cut the greatest amount of careers in half. The story twist, however, enters at this point. Maybe you're not the only one with receipts. No longer. It seems that the same enigmatic third party who provided him with the first disclosures is now providing the media with more embarrassing information. Furthermore, it's not entirely positive for Pap. Yes, exactly. This tale might turn against him in a matter of seconds. According to industry rumors, a well-known blogger has already prepared drafts that combine Claressa's purported dirt with some dubious financial choices made by Pap. We're discussing tax returns, offshore accounts, and dubious advisory fees from unknown companies. In essence, the mess is on the verge of becoming a full-fledged mud wrestling match. The boxing community is going insane. According to reports, promoters are having urgent meetings to determine whether they can continue to plan specific matches without running the risk of becoming a complete media circus. Sponsors are in a frenzy. Like the queen entering the chessboard, Remy Moth finally makes a move after contacting attorneys and creating morality clauses that ought to have been in place years earlier. Not an outright declaration, not a reveal-all interview. Not at all. Just one cold Instagram post. A close-up picture of steam rising from a teacup. Caption, "Hold on, dude." It explodes on the internet. Theories are poured into the comments by fans. She was aware the entire time. She has receipts of her own. She's going to finish them both. Celebrities are also weighing in. Remy has some support. Others are subtweeting about adults sharing their private lives and the embarrassment of letting the world into your bedroom. Claressa's camp is in disarray in the meantime. Her PR rep writes a carefully worded statement calling the disclosures false and part of a coordinated smear campaign. The problem is that there isn't any real denial. No, I'm not like that. The video isn't real. Just ambiguous legalese. The internet also enjoys the smell of blood in the water, you know. Sports news organizations have already devoted whole pieces to the controversy. The Shade Room, TMZ Sports, ESPN, and everyone else is keeping Claressa's name in the news for all the wrong reasons by taking disparate stances, half of which contradict one another. The countdown then begins. Pap shares a mysterious Instagram story with a gif of a ticking clock and no caption. Paprop in a matter of minutes is popular on Twitter. People are betting on what the ultimate leak will be, setting alarms, and live streaming their responses. And lastly, the plunge. Like a right hook to the jaw, the video goes viral on the internet. The rumors were accurate, it's unambiguous, damning, and not able to spin. Claressa is accused of making promises on the recording that might be construed as fight rigging. The image depicts her among individuals the Boxing Commission would undoubtedly want to interview. Reaction nuclear hashtags like as hashtag Titler stripped and hashtag Claressa go viral on all platforms. Sponsors declare an immediate halt to cooperation. In a statement, the Boxing Commission states that it is looking into the situation and may take disciplinary action. And the true bombshell comes right as her career seems to be in ruins. A file on Pap is released by that enigmatic third party. It turns out that he may have been experimenting with some underhanded transactions while he was occupied with exposing Claressa. Abruptly, the internet is no longer sure who to support. The controversy turns into something more significant than either of them. Claressa and Pap are no longer the only rivals. It exposes the dirty laundry of the boxing industry as a whole. Supporters begin requesting a documentary on Netflix, #change from canceling people to demanding change. All of a sudden, there are rumors that the FBI wants to investigate specific financial activities. By the end of the week, both Claressa and Pap are making headlines every day, not because of their athletic accomplishments, but because of the mess that might completely change how the sport is regulated. And that silent third party is presumably grinning somewhere. Because the job was completed if pandemonium was the aim. Here's the real deal, though, dude. I've heard that this is still ongoing. The possibility of a second phase of the leaks is being discussed. And if that's the case, then more well-known individuals, promoters, trainers, and possibly even other champions might be drawn to the following round. And this won't just be the year's biggest boxing scandal when it occurs. It could be the largest of the decade. Ladies and gentlemen, don't assume that this is just another tumultuous split that has become a public spectacle. Because what we just saw could be the beginning of a scandal that could completely upend the boxing industry. Papoose dropped more than just receipts. He might have set off a series of events that will bring more names into the fray than we can possibly count.